Hello, and welcome to another episode of Atomic Vinyl Reviews. So apparently we're going live. I really hope that this is working. I'm not sure if any one of you is present in the chat. If somebody is present, do let me know in the chat section. That would be much appreciated, because this is my first attempt at going live. So let me just... All right. Let's see. Okay, I think it says that there are 4 people either watching or something like that. Again, I'm new to this. Okay, one person is watching or commenting below, so that's great. So we are now live. I'll probably just wait a few minutes and see if anybody else shows up. Welcome, Randall. Hello from Burlington, USA. Welcome. It must be really early for you. For me, at this particular moment, it is 11 o'clock at night, because I know the time differences are a bit different. So that's why I plan to have this live stream this late today, because I wanted it to be as close as possible to being the same time in the US as it is here, because I know a lot of my viewers are from the US. So the stream today is, of course, because it is the 66th anniversary of Godzilla, and I wanted to do a little stream about it, to talk about a few things that I've been doing on my channel and a few things that I was planning to do. 8:10 a.m. Cool. That's what I was assuming, because yeah, we're like 10 hours off, and I wanted it to be a good time for everyone to actually be able to watch. And welcome, No Budget Nerd. I'm glad you could make the stream. Germany, awesome. What time is it in Germany currently? I know I have some family from Poland. Well, actually, all my family's from Poland, so the time difference is quite big in Germany as well. 2 p.m. Okay, that's actually pretty good time for a stream. Not too late, not too early. All right. So I'm not sure if anyone else is going to show up, but I might as well just start on the actual point of this video. So it is this guy's birthday right here. That's Godzilla. The original 54 film came out quite some time ago, 66 years. And I wanted to make a really special video for you guys to celebrate. However, I had kind of a rough day trying to do the video. So I don't know if you guys saw my unboxing video of the Kyoto Shin Godzilla over here. It's this massive, massive thing over here. So I figured I'd try to actually do a proper full review of this thing, and I wanted to release it today. But nonetheless, I had kind of a bad attempt at actually getting that video out to you guys, and that's why I'm making this live stream kind of to fill in for that video, because I'm still going to put that video out to celebrate this anniversary, but it might take a couple more days till I can finish it. I tried filming it. I spent basically all day talking in front of a camera to my my voice got sore, and I just wasn't happy with the results. I should have probably scripted it a bit better, or organized it a bit better, because it was just take after take of really bad review. So fingers crossed I can get that out to you guys later on, because the fun thing about this figure here is I don't think anyone's actually done a full review of it. Not in the Western world, at least. I've only seen people in Japan do videos on that figure, for a number of reasons, because it's really hard to get your hands on at the moment. So how are you guys doing? What are you guys doing to celebrate Godzilla's 66th anniversary? Are you doing anything special, or just watching some Godzilla movies, or nothing of that sort? Who knows? I'll just wait till any of your comments come through. Oh, thanks, No Budget Nerd. I'm glad you saw that video. Happy birthday. Happy Godzilla birthday today from Randall, he says. Watching Godzilla versus the Sea Monster, says No Budget Nerd. Oh, that's awesome. I'm actually quite a fan of that movie. I know a lot of people put that pretty low on their lists, but that was one of my favorite Godzilla movies growing up, because it was one of the few ones I actually had when I had barely any Godzilla movies. And Randall, he'll be watching some Movies later, getting ready to go to work in a few minutes. Yeah, that's actually why I tried to time this video right now, because I knew people in the US would probably be about to go to work at about this time. So I wanted to fit this in just before then, because if I were to make it any earlier, you guys would probably be asleep, or later, it would be pretty late for me here, and you guys would either be in work or stuff like that. Oh, thanks, no budget nerd. I appreciate that. Stopping watching a Godzilla movie just for this oddity of a video here. Well, I really appreciate that. Any questions or stuff you guys want to send my way, be sure to do that at any time, because I don't have much more to do in this video, really. My main real announcement was that I was going to give you guys a proper video about this Kyoto figure here, but that kind of went down the drain for today. So do let me know. And what have we got in the chat at this moment? We need to talk about your list. Okay, what's wrong with my list? What is wrong with my list? Okay, Randall, you got something there. Keep up the great work you do for all of us. Love the videos and reviews. Oh, I really appreciate that, man. I'm not sure I'd call it great work. I'd call it mildly passable work, but I'm glad some of you at least enjoy it. You have a great day too, man. Thanks so much for hitting up the stream. And hello, Paul. Hi. What's up, Jacob? I'm just trying to do a stream for the first time, Paul, and just getting to know you guys and just seeing how this goes. So this is my first ever time going live, so this is all very new to me. And if you didn't hear, this whole purpose of the stream is just to celebrate this dude here and his 66th birthday. So I've actually got a cake in the background that we're gonna light the candles, and well, I guess we'll try and get Godzilla to blow out his candles, and if that doesn't work, I'll have to help him. And that's probably how we'll end the stream. But the whole other point of the stream was just for me to let you guys know that I will be putting out a really special review of the Kyoto Shin Godzilla figure later in the week, hopefully. What else is going on with you guys? Okay, putting Final Wars on 5th place or 4th. What? No, dude, Final Wars is the best. I was literally, if I had more time, I was about to watch Final Wars. Like, that was my next movie that I was just uh, about to put on. So I love Final Wars. Final Wars is so good. Unless you're just kind of upset that I didn't put it as number one, which, okay, I can understand that. But dude, Final Wars, it's so good. How can you say otherwise? Ah, so Paul, you're voting. Yeah, I hear it's a bit of chaos with the whole political thing going on in I'm assuming America, where I'm assuming you're from America at least, because I know there's a whole voting thing going on there. So all the best with that voting. No offense to everyone, no budget nerd. Okay, I'm really curious. What's your opinion on Final Wars? This is actually kind of a great topic because it actually gives me something to talk about in this stream. Like I said in my list, I have nothing but just really good vibes from that movie. It was one of my favorites when I first saw it. I first saw it like on TV somewhere. Wait, it came out in 2004, so I must have seen it around 2004 2005 on like here we have a channel called SBS, and they play some foreign films occasionally, and I remember seeing that. I was like blown away by it when I was little, and I know it's got a lot of really dumb stuff in it, but it's just dumb in the best, most fun possible way. I don't know, man. Yeah, Paul knows where it's at. He loves Final Wars. Thanks, Paul. Actually, yeah, no budget nerd. I would actually love to have you on the podcast at some point. I haven't done an episode of it in so long. I forgot what I called them. The Hold on, let me look at my own channel, and I'll quickly see what my own podcast is called. Oh, it's just called the AVR Kaiju Podcast. Yeah, I would actually really love to have you on board for that. It's been a long time since I've done one, and I've actually got an unreleased one of those podcast episodes with Alex the Hunted. So he's another YouTube movie reviewer who is actually pretty big. He's got some great stuff, and I feel kind of bad because I recorded a podcast with him, and I haven't been able to upload it to you guys in, oh, maybe it's been months now. It's in my list of stuff to edit together because it takes me a literal full day to edit those videos together, just because I'm using Windows Movie Maker, because it's I can't be asked to try and learn a proper software to actually edit together a movie. So I'm still using that bit of ancient technology. So that's going to come out later on as well, guys, hopefully. Last one was great. Figure Mania show. Yeah, Harold is the best. I'm so glad that he actually agreed to that, and we're definitely going to do more with him in the future. He's always putting out some really cool stuff, and I completely adore his figure photography. He is like the master at that. So what are you working on, No Budget Nerd, at this point? Because I freaking love your stop motion stuff. Ah, off to work. Randall is off to work. Have fun, everyone. Thanks again, Jacob. Happy Godzilla Day. Happy Godzilla Day to you, Randall, and I really appreciate you being on the stream. Hope to see you again if we do another one. So, yeah, for those of you who don't know, No Budget Nerd, he does a really, really cool style of stop motion animation with like Monster Arts figures, and it's just really humorous and stuff like that. It's some great videos, so I recommend checking out his channel after the stream. If you're not watching some other Godzilla movies, that is, I'll probably end up actually watching Final Wars after this, because that's just one of those films that, again, I adore. Actually, yeah, everybody, what is your favorite Godzilla movie? I'm really keen to hear that. Working on Terror of Monster Zero, the bootleg Hedorah. Ah, nice. Yeah, that bootleg Hedorah is surprisingly good as a figure. I was completely blown away by how good for a bootleg it is. Like, if any of you guys know or have any conspiracy theories about that figure, let me know, because I'm still baffled as to where it came from, because Monster Arts denies that it's their figure, from what I understand. But I'm still just convinced that it's some sort of Monster Arts prototype that we never got, because it's built so well, it's engineered so well that it actually rivals the genuine Monster Arts Ghidorah figures. So that's just, I don't know, it's beyond me, guys. But my one is currently still in pieces. I was like planning on painting it piece by piece, painting all the pieces like all around, and then like using some sort of matte spray or something on them so that the paint's actually protected and sealed. And this whole paint process was just taking too long, and I don't know when I'll get to it, but hopefully I can actually bring out the customized version of it again and have it not in pieces, because it's been way too long. I'm notorious for starting projects and then almost finishing them, but then starting up a new project and they just layer on top of each other, and then I have this mountain of stuff I have to get to. So if I say I'm going to do something in a previous video of mine and then like no updates on it happen for a long time, that's almost guaranteed the reason why. So sorry, and thanks for bearing with that, guys. So what are you saying now, No Budget Nerd? You painted yours golden. Awesome. I've seen a bunch of people paint theirs, and they've all done great jobs. It's just so cool to see people, customizing their figures. And I'm actually not one for customizing my figures very often, even ones that are fairly cheap, like Bandai vinyls and stuff like that. I tend to be one of the people who wants to keep them untouched and kind of leave them as is, even if they're not to my liking, unless they're bootlegs, because then I feel no remorse doing anything to them. But I'm kind of a purist with a lot of my figures, but that just has more to do with them being like these collectible things to me. But I think the Ghidorah figure there, it really does need to be golden. It's just, that's how he was in the film, and it's bizarre to me that they actually made him this like off sort of brown color, like the actual Monster Arts 2019 Ghidorah, because that's just so weird. What else can I talk about in this live stream? What else are you guys doing to celebrate? Are there any other cool streams or any other YouTube channels doing anything cool today? 'Cause I've been just consumed with trying to do the review of this coyote here, so I haven't really been looking at what everyone else is doing. Let's just see. Let's see. It looks like we've got 4 people currently watching. Not too bad. I was kind of worried nobody would actually be watching at this point, which is what I was expecting. So, what else can I talk to you guys about? I've brought this up in my other videos. Oh, you sold the. So No Budget Nerd, just for anyone who's watching this after the stream is done, is saying that he sold the 2019 Ghidorah because he couldn't work with it. Tonight, Godzilla vs. Megalon on the list. Yes, Godzilla vs. Megalon. That is just such a... It's such a dumb movie, but it's just so full of goodness, like schlock goodness. It's such a... that's another one of those classic films that I got when I barely had any Godzilla movies in my collection, and I'd watch that one over and over again. I just remember that like weird little, I don't even know how you describe it. It opens up with this little kid on this like bizarre looking water scooter bike. Yeah, it is good schlock. It is the best schlock. Like, can anyone explain what that like weird water bike thing was that it opened up with, that the kid was like on in the middle of this pond and then the pond just disappeared? It's like this weird like colorful happy smiling fish with clown noses kind of a thing. And then there's just Jet Jaguar with his own theme song. It is just crazy, crazy fun. Like I don't know. Like we don't get films like that these days. At least not that feel like that. I think we do still get like some weird schlock today, but it's almost certainly like oversaturated with a lot of really bad CGI and stuff like that. Like more of that like weird Sharknado type stuff or stuff like that. But like back in this like the 70s, they didn't have any of that. So when they were gonna make schlock, it had to be done all practically and done with a whole bunch of costumes and stuff, and it was just like a golden age for like weird schlock filmmaking in my mind. One thing I could bring up real quick is just basically more shameless self-promotion, kind of like I did in my previous video, which was the list of Godzilla films. I did a worst to best list of Godzilla films. I was expecting that video would do a little better than it did, but so I'm a little bit disappointed, especially since it was part of the Terror of Cyber Kaiju, kind of like an event. So there's this kind of like cyber kaiju event that was meant to be a replacement or just something for creators to put out for you guys to replace G-Fest and stuff like that. And they decided to do like another one for Halloween. And that's what my video is going to be kind of a part of. It's basically anybody can join, just put the hashtag in their thing. So I was hoping the actual list would do a little better, but it kind of didn't do as well as most of my normal reviews. So I was a bit bummed out about that because it was a lot of work. And in the middle of that, I did some random shameless self-promotion because I have been working on these resin little sculpted things that I'm hoping to actually make available to you guys soon. Is there any news on the SMH yet? Which SHM figures are you referring to, No Budget Nerd? Besides G89. I haven't heard any new news about any Monster Arts figures as of late. I have heard that they are likely to release a smaller scale 89. I haven't heard of any new ones actually. Is there anything in particular you're thinking of, or is it just any new news in general? Because I haven't heard any. I would really love if they would put out some Monster Arts figures of the new kaiju and new designs we actually saw for the single point Godzilla trailer. Those look really cool, and I would definitely love an Anguirus from that. But again, I haven't heard any news about any upcoming Monster Arts figures as of late. I'm still waiting for Biolante to release, and dreading having to actually pay for it. I do have it on pre-order though. Showa figures, fans would love this. Oh yes, I really want a Showa Gigan from Monster Arts, because I do have the Revoltech one, and that one's all well and good, but Monster Arts just take it to a whole nother level. They like, to me, the detail work on the Monster Arts figures is akin to an X Plus, but just shrunk down, and the articulation to me is just a bonus. I know for what you do, No Budget Nerd, that the articulation is key, but for me, I just love the sculpt and the pardon, I can't even talk. Again, I've been talking a lot today, so my voice is a bit raspy. The design and the sculpt of the figures is just second to none with Monster Arts, especially if they're a Yuji Sakai sculpt. So I'm dying for a Gigan, but I'm actually even more dying for a Megalon figure, because we really don't have any Megalon figures on the market. I've ordered a YMSF Megalon, and that's, I don't know, it's been months away in the mail, and I don't have tracking for it. So I hope it doesn't get lost. But yeah, we don't really have any decent Megalon figures on the market. There's a lot of Showa kaiju actually that we don't have good figures of in general. Where was I just before getting on this tangent? Oh yeah. So I'm making a couple of resin things for merch for my channel, basically, because my channel's actually reached the point where I could be monetizing it, but I feel kind of bad because I don't know. I really hate ads on videos, so I feel if I'm the one allowing them on my videos, that's just doesn't sit right with me. So I would rather you guys to actually be able to, if you're gonna help out the channel, it would be through like buying something that I make or something like that. So I'm doing these Mothra ones. These ones are like half painted. I still have to actually sit down and paint them all. I actually gave away my prototype to somebody, so I don't actually have that to show you guys. And I also made a Megalon one, not a Megalon one, a Hedorah one, and some little Godzilla heads. I don't have them like right on hand because I didn't think I'd be talking about them, but I always want to bring them up whenever I've got a video like this going on. And let's see, how many people have we got on stream? It says we've got 4 people. Wonder how many of you guys are actually still here. Okay. What else can we talk about, guys? Have you got any more questions or anything like that you'd like to discuss, or if you have any like ideas for videos you'd like me to do? I know I've gotten quite a few requests from people about making more model buildings and tutorials about those things, and I've been pretty eager to do those. The main reason is I don't have space to actually put more model cities in my displays, hence making an actual tutorial on how to build more little buildings is hard to kind of fit in, because I don't really have a purpose for the little buildings at this point, if that makes sense. So I'm not sure anyone in the actual chat at the moment is interested in that, but I know that potentially people watching this later on who have been questioning me about that might be interested in that point. And okay, we've been going for about just over 23 minutes. Very nice. I don't think I have anything more to add, guys, so I might actually start to close off this video here, just because, again, my voice is really torn up from my attempts at doing the Shin Godzilla video earlier today, so I'm going to attempt to do that again tomorrow and to add to it, and hopefully have that out later in the week, because that really was meant to be my 66th anniversary video, because I wanted to get that video right. And let's see, what have you added? No Budget Nerd. Again, Megalon, Jet Jaguar, Godzilla 73 in one set would be the tits. You're damn right, man. That would just be incredible. Showa kaiju don't get enough love, I don't think, in Monster Arts. Like, I would also absolutely want an Anguirus figure from the Showa era, because that's one of my favorite kaiju. And I do have the X Plus, which is a fantastic figure, but I really want a Monster Arts one, because I can't get my hands on the Revoltech, because the Revoltech is so damn expensive these days. Such a little figure, but yeah, Jet Jaguar, Gigan, Megalon, Godzilla 73, all designs that really need more love and more attention in terms of figures. Definitely. Model buildings were great. Was a big inspiration for Godzilla, Mechagodzilla, Ultraman, No Budget City. So oh, thank you. That's awesome. I'm glad I could somehow help with that. Uh, what basically happened apparently with my model buildings is apparently there's this whole kind of chain of YouTubers and people that actually started this concept, and then somebody improved it, and then somebody improved it again, and then it got to me, and then I improved it, and that's how it worked with these videos. Because when I was talking with Harold, and you probably heard this if you actually watched um, what was the word? Oh, again, podcast. Sorry, my mind is just a Swiss cheese at this point. Words just escape me sometimes. But if you watch the whole podcast with me and Harold, through the one of those, we talked about how he actually came up with the original idea for using like printouts of the windows and gluing them onto like styrofoam or something like that, or some other material, and then that was then taken by the Geek Chest, and then those dudes, they improved upon that somehow, and then I took that idea and I basically changed it. Instead of it being like on styrofoam or on like this sort of soft mushy stuff that they stick flowers in, I forgot what the material is. No, I don't have a Twitter account. Should I make one? I don't really see the point. Like, what would I tweet? I have an Instagram account, but Instagram did this weird thing recently where they removed the button that I would press to actually add photos, and they added some other like video app or something on there. And now I don't know how to put photos on Instagram. So for all intensive purposes, my Instagram account is broken on my phone at least. But yeah, if I should get a Twitter account, let me know, because I don't know what I would tweet. I'd just tweet something like, got new a Godzilla figure or something like that. But I don't know. You should. Twitter's the best. Okay, I'll get Twitter. I've heard nothing but bad things about Twitter, just about how vain and shallow it is and how people just argue, but sometimes that can be fun, so might as well. But like I was saying with the whole debacle about the little model buildings, so what I did then was, in my video, I basically used that concept and I changed it to using wooden blocks or like little cardboard boxes from various things like light bulbs or small, I don't know what comes in little cardboard boxes, but stuff like that to actually glue the paper on so it was a little more stable. And I think that went pretty well, but I would actually really love to revisit that concept in a future video, because my initial video was way too long and dreary, and I probably just rambled through it, kind of like I'm rambling through this live stream. So I want to do like a proper edited version of that. So if you guys are keen for that, let me know. And again, I'm not just speaking to the live chat now, I'm also speaking to anybody who would be watching this video later on when it's released for not live, for you guys to comment that below. So let me know if there is actually a good demand for that stuff. Because when I started making those videos, there was a criminal lack of information about those model buildings online. What about movie reviews? Yeah, I have a huge amount of movies that I need to do reviews of, don't I? I haven't done those for a couple of reasons. Number one is my movie reviews tend to be a lot less popular than my figure reviews, so I don't have as much incentive to do those. But I really do want to take the channel in that direction. Number two, I'm not as good a movie reviewer as a lot of other channels are. There's some really good movie reviews out there. Like I brought up that other channel in my previous video, Up From the Depths. They do such really good review videos of movies. They like actually analyze the film properly, and they do it in a very professional manner, and it's all nice, and a lot of them are just really good channels for that I'm not sure mine would be particularly great. And 3, I'm nervous because I also want to do the movie reviews of all the Godzilla movies as a Godzilla-thon, meaning from start to finish, as a whole list of movies that you can watch reviews that you can watch from start to finish. And sorry, I'm just tossing rambly words in between my sentences. Again, I've been talking too long today, so I start to get like this. So I want to do that, but that would mean I'd have to review Godzilla 54, the original film, first, which puts a lot of pressure on me because that's my favorite Godzilla movie, and not just my favorite Godzilla movie, but my favorite movie of all time. And I want to do that movie review justice. And that's what's putting me off doing a lot of these reviews, because I'm really have my heart set on doing them in chronological order, but I have to review Gojira as my first one, and I have to get it right, because if I don't, I'm going to be mad at myself. I know it's a little bit of just a dumb reason, but it's my actual reason. Review fan movies, not the ones this guess from. I am actually going to be doing a few fan movie reviews. A couple of people have suggested I review the Italian Godzilla, so I'm probably going to review the Italian Godzilla. And I've also, which I think is like an edited version of the original Godzilla with like crazy intense colors and stuff like that. Which, oh, there's the colored version of the 54 Godzilla that's been announced today, which is actually pretty exciting as well, which I'll talk about in a second. But I've also ordered Rhaegar, the something monster. It's another, like, it looks like a Asylum parody version of Godzilla King of the Monsters by the poster, but apparently it's like another fan-made kaiju movie, and I've ordered the DVD for that. So that's going to get here in like a month or two from the US, that DVD, and then I will review that one when it gets here. So those will be some movie reviews that are coming up. And have you seen the G54 gets colorized version by Toho? Yes, exactly. I saw some posts about that and some screenshots of that, and that does look really cool. The colorization effect looks really nice. The thing is, the original 54 film was a film that was just made to be in black and white. It's just serenely beautiful in black and white, and there's a lot of benefits from it being like that. It adds to the somber, really intense tone of it, and I feel like if you color it, it will feel more like a colorful Showa era Godzilla movie, and it's a very different feel to the original film. It's like, I want them to do it. I'm not saying that like, oh, it's not going to be good, so they shouldn't do it, because we're always going to have the original film. It's just something that comes into my mind. It's like, it doesn't need to be done, but I am excited to see it, and I'll definitely watch it when it comes out. I hope it does get a good release, especially the scenes of Tokyo burning, where it's just tinted this vibrant orangey red, and Godzilla just looming above the buildings. Those look beautiful in color. So I'm really excited about those. But just as a whole, I don't know how to feel about a colorized Gojira. It'll be an interesting experience. Personally, I think it's unnecessary. Yeah, exactly. Godzilla raids again should be colorized, and the speed in the fighting scene slow down. Maybe. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that one in color as well. That's definitely a very overlooked Godzilla movie. But I would be interested in seeing what it does look like slowed down. Maybe I could actually attempt to do that with some video software. Maybe I could post that just to give a little glimpse at it, because it might extend the fight scenes as well by quite a bit as well. It could be kind of funny, because apparently Tsuburaya liked. Oh, was it Tsuburaya? I don't even remember if he worked on that film, but whoever was doing the special effects on Raids Again actually liked the accidental effect of the really fast, frantic scenes where they're fighting, because it apparently made them seem more animalistic. But yeah, that's a good point. I want to see it slowed down as well. Yeah, I'm all for that editing there, just to see it in color and slowed down. I think it would definitely fit in more with the classic Showa era. And okay, so I think we've gone through all those topics. I was getting to the cake. So the end of this stream, what I'm gonna do, we're gonna light the cake, and I'm gonna sit here like some very strange person and sing "Happy Birthday" to Godzilla on my own, and then blow out the candles because I don't think I'm gonna get him to do much help. Sorry, my phrasing tonight is appalling. When I made Gojira, I tried it in color, but it's perfect. Yes, yeah, I definitely agree with that. You should also release a color cut just for fun. Maybe you could make it as like a little parody or some satire about the upcoming colored version of the Godzilla 54 film that they're putting out. It could be funny. But yeah, I've done some toy photography in the past when I was actually working on the miniature buildings that I was talking about earlier, and I did quite a few of them with the 54 Monster Arts figure, and they definitely looked so much nicer, I think, black and white. It just suits that version of Godzilla. It's like the world that it inhabits. Because of the lightning looks really frightening. Yeah. Yeah, black and white is just perfect for horror scenes. I understand why a lot of audiences these days don't naturally gravitate to black and white, but there are so many really, really great black and white movies out there that it is a bit of a shame. One of my other favorites is some of the Universal horror films, like the original Dracula of Bela Lugosi, or The Invisible Man is a really great one, and The Creature from the Black Lagoon. Like those movies are so cool, and the black and white doesn't detract from them at all. Nosferatu, yes, Nosferatu. I absolutely love Nosferatu. it Nosferatu, actually, the versions of it that I've watched have almost all of them had their color tinted. So they usually are tinted like this weird cyan green or these reddish colors, but they are sort of monochromatic. So it's, for all intents and purposes, basically black and white. But yeah, that movie just wouldn't be the same if it were like a color film. But there are films that they make these days that are also in black and white, but they're generally art house films and stuff like that. It comes across as a bit pretentious and weird, but it would be really interesting to see another kaiju film made that way. Every shot is nightmare fuel, yeah. Especially that just looming shadow with the long fingers. It's great. Oh, another film that came out in black and white that definitely wouldn't have been the same is the original Gamera movie. That one actually feels a lot cooler, I think, because it is in black and white. And I think they actually did that not because they weren't trying to give it a tone or anything like that. It was literally just done because they couldn't afford to film on color film. Because back in the day, filming on color film is actually pretty pricey. So there were a lot of films being made that were still in black and white in the early days of color, not because the technology wasn't there, but just for budgetary reasons. And I always found stuff like that really fascinating. Like we got what did we get? Like we got some of the other early kaiju films like Rodan and Mothra already starting to come out on color. Like Rodan was filmed in color, and I think not sure what other kaiju films were originally in black and white, because I guess those were the Gojira and the Gigantus film, or Raids Again, were the only real kaiju films done in black and white. But obviously there was a bunch of like the Harryhausen films and stuff that inspired Godzilla and stuff like that. What have you got there? Every shot is nightmare fuel. The Human Centipede 2 in color we just discussing. I have not watched either of the Human Centipede films. I heard the vague description of them, and I'm like, I'll pass. But I'll take your word for it there. Yeah, but it's quite amazing how color grading and stuff like that can have a big impact on a lot of movies. With some of actually the newer Godzilla films, especially the Legendary Pictures ones, I have some issues with the way they were color graded. The King of the Monsters movie, I felt it was just like, I absolutely love that movie, and I think it was for the most part really well done, but I think they color graded it a bit too monochromatic, bright colors. It seemed a little fake looking at times. Whereas the 2014 film, I felt like they desaturated the whole movie just a bit too much. And I feel like I get that they were going for a similar thing to the original 54 film by kind of desaturating it, but I think if you are just gonna do a color film, I think it looks best in more natural colors. That's why I love films from the 80s like Jurassic Park or the Terminator series, because they utilize color that was really natural and vibrant, but they did also have scenes, or they could also use the potential to have scenes with really weird, trippy colors that kind of filled the entire screen, and they kind of interchange between the two. Whereas these days, I think there's an overabundance of films that are either just not too desaturated, or they just kind of abuse the colors a little bit and they look a little bit too tinted. I think that's kind of a little bit of an issue that comes with people being able to digitally color grade entire movies, because it can look a little bit odd at times. Let's hope Godzilla vs. Kong will have some fighting scenes in the daylight. Absolutely. I would really, really be disheartened if they didn't do that. Again, I understand why they do nighttime fight scenes in films, but there's no there's no point in filming a fight scene which is meant to be this massive spectacle if you can't see any of it in the nighttime. And we already saw in Kong Skull Island that they can do it. They have the technology to do it. It can look amazing. And in King of the Monsters, again, I think they did a much better job at actually making the fight scenes visible than in the previous 2014 film. Not as visible as Godzilla vs. Kong, sadly, because they obscured everything with smoke and dust and weird color grading. But I think they still did it a lot better, and stuff was generally more visible. But with Godzilla vs. Kong, they really have to, because people have been begging for that for ages in the fan community, haven't they? So I totally agree with that. Definitely needs some really well shot, well choreographed, well lit fight scenes. A good example of a night fight scene, I think, and possibly my favorite night fight scene, would be the scene from Pacific Rim where the Gypsy Danger Jaeger is fighting Otachi in Hong Kong. And the reason that one works so well is because it is at night, but it's brightly lit, and you have the beautiful lighting from Hong Kong, the actual city, all the different colors and that reflecting off of the monsters and making it just more of a spectacle. And it's not obscured in smoke. Like, smoke is great for adding atmosphere, but if it's throughout the whole fight, it's like watching one of those cartoons where when they have two characters fighting, they just lunge at each other, and it's like this cartoon puff of smoke and like arms and legs sticking out of it every now and again. It's just not interesting to watch. But honestly, I kind of lost interest in Godzilla vs. Kong because of the delaying. I'm more thrilled about Singular Point. I hope the hype returns when the trailer finally drops. Yeah, me too, to an extent. I lost a bit of the hype, but I think I definitely will get a lot more hyped when it does drop, when that trailer is there. I'm not opposed to them actually delaying it longer. I don't mind that too much, because there are good reasons for it. I want them to actually be able to successfully get enough back from the film to hopefully warrant releasing another one, making another one. I think that would be really cool if they do that. If they don't, then I really hope the series ends on a strong point. But there's a real possibility that the way the film industry is, that it might make the MonsterVerse stop at that point, dead in its tracks. But I do see that it is definitely losing fan interest, and I think they should put out something interesting to get the fans hyped. Like, Back when they were doing the Godzilla King of the Monsters thing, they were doing some stuff online, like tracking Godzilla and some like weird gimmicky stuff like that. Something like that might work. But they definitely do need to release some sort of trailer at some point soon, because the longer it goes on for, especially the general public, they're gonna lose interest as well. But I don't know. It's a tricky time with this stuff. It's really unfortunate, but it's kind of just the way it is. I totally understand that too, but don't get me wrong, it sucks. Fucking 2020 Corona. Yeah, this year has been a total mess. Oh man, this year started off with so much potential, and I think at least the Godzilla fandom, it's still going pretty well. It could have got a lot worse. Yes, the movie's delayed, but we also got Godzilla Singular Point confirmed, and for all intents and purposes, we're getting a much higher density of Godzilla media and movies and new figures and stuff like that than ever before in Godzilla history. So even though this year has been a pain with that, at least this fandom is doing pretty well. And I mean, at least we're not like the Star Wars fandom or the Doctor Who fandom or the what's another one, the Star Trek fandom, or the what's that one with like the people, the TV show of the Game of Thrones fandom, where for all intents and purposes they've just been steered down into the shitter, the whole franchise. Although Star Wars has the Mandalorian now, which is actually pretty good, but at least the films are actually at a pretty good standard, and people are actually excited for this stuff. All the other fandoms that I'm in seem to be just like people being like, "Oh, why is it so shit now?" Like, at least Disney hasn't bought Godzilla, is basically what I'm trying to say, or at least it's not run by the BBC or something like that. So, you know what? I'm not too disheartened by that. The fandoms can be so toxic, man. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I agree. I think there's also an equal amount of toxicity of people just calling fandoms toxic because some small fringe group in them is toxic. I did do a video on this. I don't know if I actually released it or not, but I filmed one back in the day, talking about the toxicity of or the alleged toxicity of fandoms, and like people being called fanboys or so what's it called? Oh, like the opposite of fanboys. That, oh right, not if you're not a true fan, that sort of stuff. So there's definitely an element of toxicity in fandoms, but I also think a lot of it comes from just individuals that tend to just, I don't know, just be a-holes, just as there is with any large group of people. And I don't really think defining an entire fandom by that is worthwhile, especially since a fandom isn't really a pardon my words, my throat really is dry now. I got to be ending this stream really soon and taking a drink of water or something. Fandoms as a whole aren't a homogenous group. They're literally defined by just being a fan of something. Trust me, I've experienced it. Those diehard can be so dumb. Yeah, they definitely can. Absolutely. I have experienced it hardcore as well. But at the same time, just I think every fandom has its group of dumb people, its group of great people. In fact, I think generally most people are pretty damn good, but there's always just that negativity and stuff does always seem to outweigh whatever positivity there is in a group, and you've just got to be lucky and hopeful not to actually find it on a particularly bad day and stuff like that. I don't know, man. Certain fandoms these days, especially like I was saying, like Star Wars and like Doctor Who and like Star Trek and stuff like that, they have there is a reason that there is a divide in those groups these days, and it's a really hard thing to reconcile. But I'm really happy and fortunate that the Godzilla fandom, like I said, is actually doing pretty good. Like, the most controversial thing we really have recently is some people start complaining about Shin Godzilla having a tail laser, and some people like, nah, it's cool. And that's about the most controversial topic we have going on at the moment. So luckily, I think we're in a good place fandom-wise. But I really hope it doesn't go that way, because I'm seeing so many other fandoms going in a way where they have just a really, really badly made movie just happen, and then the actual fandom is villainized for not liking it, and there's this whole divide where people like say, no, it's fine, but other people are like, no, it's clearly not fine, and then like other weird political stuff is thrown in there, and it's just a mess. So I think it's, yeah, we're on a good place with that, at least in my mind. Let's say compare Bad Tooth if this one was rotten and infected with the others. Okay, I'm gonna eat the cake now. I'll eat the cake. So I don't know how many people are still watching. I'm assuming that little picture of the people on my screen here. Again, you guys have to bear with me because this is my first ever stream. This was really impromptu. I just kind of did this again because my Shin Godzilla Kyoto figure video is delayed, so I wanted to do something special today. So I haven't done this before, so I'm all new to this. Next time, I guarantee. Oh, thank you, Ritz Gojira. Good to see you in the stream. Yes, cake. I have this cake here. We're going to be playing with fire, real life fire. I hope I don't burn down my Kyoto figure, because I will cry like a child if that happens. But we are going to light this cake, and we're going to celebrate 66 years of kaiju awesomeness because of this dude here, and all the wonderful people that went into actually making this a reality, this series. Oh, who's this? I can't read your names, whoever you are, because it's in Japanese, but it ends with 1964. So greetings to you too. Thanks for joining the stream. We're actually about to... Rodan. Greetings, Rodan, indeed. Oh yeah, it does say Radon, but I can't read the rest of the stuff. I can read a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of Japanese, and most of it I read poorly, so I apologize for that. But we are actually about to end the stream here, so I don't know if you've just joined or have been silently watching this whole time. But basically, this stream has just been me rambling about a lot of incoherent and unrelated stuff, but all in the name of celebrating 66 years of this Godzilla, and also announcing that I am going to be releasing a Kyoto Shin Godzilla full review later in the week, which I should have released today. And that's about it. And now we're going to have a cake, because Godzilla deserves a birthday cake, and if Godzilla isn't going to make his own, then I got to make it for him. Well, I didn't actually make the cake, but I'm going to light a match and blow out the candles and all that good stuff. So, who are you? Ariology. What's the best Shin Godzilla figure you recommend? That's a good question. Yeah, I will drink some water soon. I made the fatal error of actually bringing in an empty glass instead of a glass filled with water. Actually, there's like a tiny, tiny drop. But the best Shin Godzilla figure I recommend is... Oh, that's a hard one. The thing is, Shin Godzilla is one of those versions of Godzilla that doesn't have a particularly good go-to figure for it. For example, you got most figures, they have their Monster Arts version of them, and I would normally just say go with the Monster Arts, and I'm probably gonna say go with the Monster Arts in this case. But I have some issues with the Monster Arts. I think the detailing on him is a little flat. He has some issues with the his ball joints popping off and stuff like that. So I've actually got mine right here, with his tail popped off because it fell off, and his little hand falls off as well. I think generally this one is the best figure for the money. You could also go with the Banpresto vinyl, which I did a whole video about, a really good review of that one. It was one of probably my better reviews in the early days, talking about how that one is probably the best go-to figure. But since then, that one has gone up in pricing. But right now, I'm going to say the Monster Arts, just because it is, accuracy-wise, probably the best. Unless you can get your hands on something like the Kyoto figure, which is probably objectively the best figure, because it's literally the maquette they used for the film. Like, this thing is literally what they scanned into the computer, and they used for the film to design Shin Godzilla. There are a bunch of other figures like the Shin Godzilla by X Plus, the 25 centimeter one. I would stay away from because it's ugly. I'm sorry, it's not a very good figure in my mind for the price. For the Bear in mind, the Kyoto is also so expensive these days that I'm not recommending it to you guys. I'm recommending it as like the best figure, but it's like you have to be insane like me to actually get one these days. So I'm yeah, I'm gonna get back to that. I'm just gonna read these newer comments here because I've gone off on a little rant. Where were we? Watching Godzilla to recommend. Can't believe 66 years I had to deal with Godzilla and his friends. Cakes. Oh, Rodan. Is Godzilla really that hard to deal with, Rodan? I mean, can't you just get along? Thanks for the answer. Very helpful. Do you recommend the Kyoto one? How much is a worthy price, do you think? Oh, the Kyoto. I do recommend the Kyoto one. I can actually even bring it in because it is. I got all these, not these. I got all these Shin Godzilla figures out because I was doing my review of the Kyoto one. I don't know. Sorry, my mind's being muddled. I thought you broke and pressed it. How much do I think is worthy for the Kyoto one? That's a difficult question because I spent way more than the initial price for it. I don't want to say how much I spent on it because I am ashamed. But I will say, if you can find it anywhere near retail price, then it is absolutely worth it. If you can find it even like maybe twice the retail price, it is absolutely worth it. It is a spectacular figure, and I'd say it definitely outshines the gigantic X Plus. I think you actually wrote, yeah, you were actually asking about that. Yeah, I don't have the gigantic X Plus. I've seen, you know, images of it, and it looks so cool, and I really want one, but it just looks slightly off to me. I don't know. I'm very pedantic about my Shin Godzilla figures. That's why I have so many of them, because I keep just seeing imperfections in them, and there's something about Shin Godzilla's design where he's this like very ordered chaos. He has all these very specific details to his face where they're not really clear. They're like these lumps of chaotic roughness that are just arranged, that they just happen to look exactly like Shin Godzilla. And if you're trying to approximate it as a sculptor, it's very difficult. So all the different figures of Shin Godzilla that aren't like exact copies of this figure here seem to be quite off. So I don't know. It's really difficult to get a good Shin Godzilla figure. I'm still working on the kit version of the X Plus 30 centimeter one, which is by Yuji Sakai, which I think still has some little bits off, but I think that one is probably the next best one. But that one also is skyrocketing in price, so I'm real sorry, guys. I don't really have a good answer, but you can still generally get the Monsterats one for fairly decent prices. And I think the reissue of the Monsterats is a really good figure. Like, I don't have the reissue of the normal color, but I do have this guy here, which is the frozen version, and this thing is beautiful. The dry brushing on him is super, super nice. It is, oh, and his jaw pops off. Yeah, that's Monsterats, am I right? Anyway. But detail-wise, like, this has the best spines on it, the best, like, detail down his tail, and the best tail detail at the end here as well, compared to any other Shin Godzilla figure in the price range. But even then, like, again, Monsterats ones seem to be going up in price as well, so it's difficult. I would just say avoid the 25 centimeter X Plus would be my main info to you guys. You're probably good with the 30 centimeter Shin Godzilla from X Plus, or the Monsterats reissue one, or the Kyoto if you can get your hands on it, or the Band Presto. Any other ones? I don't know. My bank account is crying over the Monsterats figures I bought over this summer. Yeah. Thanks, Ritz Gojira. All of us are, aren't they? Anyway, I'm going to scroll up again and read some more of these chats. We're actually up to 8 people on this stream, which is awesome. So thanks, guys. You rock. I'm really glad you're actually showing up. I keep trying to end this stream, but people keep showing up, and more stuff actually is happening. So I'm reluctant to, because now we're actually getting some people messaging, so I can actually reply to you guys. So where were we in the chat? I can never put my hands on the Escoger, so love to animate. Oh, really? No Budget Nerd, you don't have the Monsterats one? I hope you do get it. I would love to see you animating the tail on this thing. It would be really tricky, just making sure it doesn't pop into little pieces, but if you can manage that, it would look real fine. Let's see. There's a tail stand to go with it. So Rodan, are you asking about the Kyoto there? I'm assuming there is a tail stand with the Kyoto figure. There's actually 2. There's this one here, which I don't use. This one's meant to hold up the far end of the tail because it's loose here. There's like a join right there, and it kind of it's a little wobbly, as you can see. You have to like shove it in like an X Plus at this point, and this is meant to hold it up so it actually sits better. And I don't have enough space to actually have the figure sat down and a table that's long enough for this stand to actually be above like holding up the tail, I mean. So I don't use that one, but he does come with this block. So if we lift up his tail and I just awkwardly slide this out, it comes with this big block. It's heavy. It feels like, I don't know, that's what it sounds like when I tap it, and it's heavy. So I'm guessing it's either plastic, solid plastic, or like a wood that's been laminated with like this smooth black finish, something like that. And it sits under the base of his tail, because his tail is actually raised up near the base as well. So that's all I use, and I should probably actually have something under his tail at some point to make sure this doesn't sag too much, because that's a bit of a problem, but I don't have space, guys. I don't think I ever will. So what else are you guys saying in the comments? Learned some German. Ich werde es what. I'm sorry, No Budget Nerd. I can't read that. I can speak Polish. I can barely read Polish. So that's about as close as I can get to that, man. Let's see. I have the X Plus Yuji Sakaya Rick version of Shin. It's definitely good, but no one near Kyoto one. Takayuki Takeya is the master sculptor. Yes, indeed. Takeya is such a great sculptor, and I'm so glad they actually got him to do Shin Godzilla, because I think he didn't even design this version technically. He didn't like do the concept art for the figure, like all the sketches and stuff, but he definitely put his own spin on the actual design when they got him to sculpt it, like the addition of all these bone-like structures and just the shape of it. And you can definitely see a huge part of his influence on this design, and he put so much work into this. I can tell it is outstanding, this figure. So again, if you guys can get your hands on this, which I have no idea how you can manage that, because you got to be, again, insane like myself to actually warrant getting it at this point. But I don't know, man. I don't regret getting this thing, is probably where I'm gonna leave it at, because it's such a great figure. What else are you guys saying? Let me read through the chat. I'm sorry I'm like leaning over. Actually, my camera tripod in front of the chat. I don't know why I put it there, but it's making this really awkward. Have a good day. Hope you enjoy the cake. Thank you. You have a great day to you, sir or madam, because I actually can't tell from your comments here. Then go fit. Oh, Rodan says, I mean, I did kick his butt in 1964 before Mosura Larvae came and webbed us to fight Ghidorah. Yeah, yeah, you totally did. I saw how you guys were just throwing shit at each other and laughing. That's so grown up of you two. uh, that's why I ask you. You have very high standard for Shin, which is what I admire. Oh, thank you, Ariology. Thank you very much. I pride myself on my standards for Shin, which is totally unintentional, by the way. It's just, it's not something I developed intentionally. It's just I want it to really feel like it is from the movie, and I'm satisfied with so many other figures of so many other monsters. For example, like we got the 54 Monster Arts figure. Just pulling it off my shelf. Okay, this guy here perfectly exemplifies the 54 Godzilla. And you know, most Monster Arts figures do, but for some reason the Monster Arts Shin Godzilla figure, even though I did recommend that one as probably the best go-to figure, it still just doesn't quite do it for me. And it might have something to do with the way the sculpt is cut up, or I don't know, minor ways they edited it, or just how fiddly it can be, which again, like the fact that I have the tail plopped off and his hand is missing here is quite evident of that. But I still think this one's a really solid contender. It basically looks just like the Kyoto one, just it has seam lines all through it, and some of the early released versions may have some poor paintwork issues here and there. But yeah, almost every other version of Shin Godzilla is just off to me, and yeah, it's a bit of a shame because I do really like that design. What else are you guys saying? Can anyone send me a copy of a G-Fan magazine? There's an interview with me, and I didn't get it. Oh, that's a shame, dude. How do you get into an interview in G-Fan magazine? Around $2,000 worth for the Kyoto one. What currency is that in, by the way? Because I bought them for Australian currency, which that's a lot more than US currency. Like it's at this point, I think it's a good almost double more than US currency. And what I mean is like US currency is more dense in terms of value. Yeah, so that's probably close to what I got it for. It's up to you. It like really is. I don't regret getting it, but then again, I'm somebody who has been like dying for this figure since I ever first laid eyes on it, probably before the movie even came out. When they first showed just images of the maquette, I'm like, I want it so badly. And then my rational brain is just like, don't worry, the Monster Arts will come out. You'll be satisfied then. And then the Monster Arts comes out. I'm like, it could be better. And then I get the Banpresto, and I'm like, this is so beautiful, but the face is a little bit off. And then the Bandai vinyls have like really flat details and stuff like that. And then the I don't know, whatever other version, the Tease Facto kit that I was building, it's a bit off. It just has all these weird issues with it. And so I just finally gave in one day, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna be happy till I just get this thing. And since then, I will say it was worth it. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. I don't want to make you want to spend money on stuff. It's just I'm an odd person to be talking about this figure because I didn't get it just casually. It wasn't a casual decision because this thing is by a huge margin the most expensive thing that I own. So I don't know. It's totally up to you. Like I feel both good and bad knowing that this is like convincing you. It's a bit weird. Okay, what's this comment by No Budget Nerd? Because of my movies. Oh yeah, there's a lot more than one comedy I did and made real short films, Mothra, Lava Story, and Gamma Space. Okay, yeah, that's fair enough, dude. But like, how do they approach you and be like, yo, we run G-Fan magazine, we want you in our magazine? Is that how that kind of happens? Because I'm kind of curious. How does one get into G-Fan magazine. Where do you get G-Fan magazines as well is another thing I'm curious. Who makes them? Because I've heard about them, but I've never seen one. I've never held one. I actually like to see what's in them. Are they more of like a G-Fest kind of a thing, or I'm assuming people trade them there and stuff like that. I could be wrong. How many kilograms of weight is the Kyoto one? Just want to know how much shipping costs will be if I decide to be crazy like you. Crazy like me. Actually, that's gonna be interesting. I don't know. I have a little scale here, which I've been using to measure resin, because I've been making these little resin Mothras and stuff. So maybe we can use this. I don't know how I'm gonna fit him on it. Okay, let's try and get an approximate on live video for you people for Godzilla's birthday. We'll see. We'll see. I'm like we probably won't get an accurate reading from this, but maybe if I like hold him gently above it and see, and we could get an approximate. Let's see. Even though it's very expensive, if you have lots of money, would say get it early. Okay. You're getting more encouragement from Rodan. I also want to say I got it and I didn't have a lot of money. This guy really cut into some of my savings there. But I was going through a tough time and I wanted something to cheer me up, so it worked to an extent. So I don't know. Up to you guys. Up to you guys if you think it's worth it. Oh, I found my little Hedorah resin thing, which I wanted to show you guys. You've probably seen this in my other videos. It's my resin Hedorah sculpture. This is my prototype. I've been meaning to paint these and all of the little Mothras here for a long time. This one's actually painted, but I have like dozens of these actually cast now, and I want to actually finish painting them and make these available to you guys. So if that's something you're after, do follow this channel and the Atomic Final Reviews Facebook group, because I'll have more info about those when I do get to them. But like I was saying way earlier in this stream, I have this habit of starting a project and then never actually finishing it and starting a bunch of other projects after that, and it just like it builds up in terms of things I never finish, and these seem to be succumbing to that a little bit. So I am gonna get these finished. I just don't know when. So anyway, let's. Oh geez, how do we do this, guys? Okay, it's registering like 20. Okay, I think it's over 2 kilograms. I'm gonna say that. I don't think I'm gonna get a more accurate reading. 20. Oh, 3. It's like 3 to 4 kilograms, I think. At least according to this scale. I don't know how well this scale actually does with things of that weight class. Max 5 kilograms. Okay, so assume it's around 4 kilograms at least. Let's see. What have you guys said in chat? Ooh, someone retracted a message. We're not going to make a big deal of that. Let's see. Everyone's saying buy it. Look, you're amongst Godzilla fans here, Ariology. Everyone's going to say buy it if you can. Like, if you're around sane people who weren't Godzilla obsessives, then you might actually get a fair answer. But here we're all going to say get it. Yeah, so it's not that bad with the box. Maybe will be. Yeah, I'd assume around 5 kilograms. Also, bear in mind it comes with this thing, which is kind of heavy. We can actually weigh it as well, probably with more precision. That weighs 565 grams exactly. 565 grams. So that's going to add to it. There's also this thing here, which weighs about 200 grams. There's going to be also the box and all the stuffing with the box. Mine didn't come with the original box, unfortunately, but it was probably just a really plain cardboard box with some styrofoam in it. So that's what you probably got to expect with this figure. Of course, better than having a second. What? What's going on in this chat? No budget. No. My wife always gets a knife when I order Godzilla stuff. Well, maybe she just wants to help you open up the box, right? Mine too. Yeah, my girlfriend really, really hates my collection. Yeah, it's probably we need to start like a Godzilla collector help group, just to that we could just all sit around and like it'll be like an Alcoholics Anonymous thing. And it's like, well, yeah, the wife didn't like my new figure again, and we could just all reassure ourselves in that way. That'll be a fun little project we could start. Okay. So with the base and the box, it will be around 50 kilograms. No, it won't be around 50 kilograms. I don't know, maybe around 5 or 6. We can just to be safe. I don't take my word for it. The seller should actually let you know. They should weigh it themselves, and that's how you'll know. I don't know where you guys are living. I know a lot of you guys are in the US currently, but how are you guys dealing with the price of shipping at the moment? Because I'm having a nightmare. All the sites from Japan have deleted their normal sort of budget shipping options. So it used to be actually a lot more affordable for me to buy stuff from Japan than from the US, for example. Now they're about on par, and stuff from the US seems to have also increased in the price of shipping. And I'm just like freaking out because now I'm trying to buy like a Monsterats figure from or like an X Plus figure, and the shipping, like if I want to buy an X Plus figure, the shipping cost now is about the price of a Monsterats figure. So I'm just looking at that and it just makes me want to cry because I really want to get some stuff. Yeah, shipping raised a lot. Yes, indeed. I'm really wanting to get the not Monsterats, Megalon figure from X Plus that they are releasing, and I've pre-ordered it, but I'm just dreading the day when the shipping price shows up because I pre-ordered the 25 centimeter X Plus Godzilla 2019 from King of the Monsters, and I got a message from that Japanese seller saying that they can no longer post it by the normal cheaper Japanese postage price. And I looked at the shipping costs, and now I'm like debating whether or not to cancel because it's just too much. But I'm also really kind of bummed out by that, and I don't know if I should, because I'm still mad that I canceled my order for the X Plus 30 centimeter 1984, the Yuji Sakai modeling collection version of the 84 figure, because they did the same thing. They increased the postage price to so much that it would have cost me like $500 for that figure to get it posted here, like with the cost of the figure itself, and that is like twice what I am in the willing to pay for a figure like that. But it makes me so mad because I was on that figure from the day the pre-order was opened, and I was so excited for it. And I'm just worried it's just going to be like this for the rest of the year or longer. And I don't know, man. It's a bummer. How are you guys dealing with this stuff? Let's see. There's so many Godzilla collector groups already. Stop it. No, I don't mean like a Godzilla collector group. I mean like a help group where people have their partners who hate Godzilla and they have to like be all tense about getting a new figure, and it's like this whole thing. I was saying it as a joke, like again, like Alcoholics Anonymous, except for just people struggling with their partners not liking their collections and stuff like that. Stuff like, yeah, I don't know. It's dumb, but it could be fun. And Ariology says, well, now you know you have a viewer of your channel from Indonesia. Oh, awesome. Indonesia. Must be nice in Indonesia. Must be actually pretty close to this time zone there, because it's about similar longitude, not longitudinal. They're similar time zones. Is what I'm trying to say. Shipping raised a lot. Actually, yeah, in Indonesia, what's it like getting figures there? Because it's pretty close to places like China and Thailand. And from China, you get a lot of bootlegs and stuff. And from Thailand, you get a lot of resin kit bootlegs and stuff like that. Almost entirely all the Godzilla kits that you can get bootlegs of seem to be from Thailand. So I wonder what it's like to get Godzilla stuff in that country. It's 9:30 at night here. Oh, okay. Here it is 12:26, so it's no longer Godzilla's birthday in my country. It is now the 4th as opposed to the 3rd. So we're gonna have this cake a bit late, it turns out, but for all you guys, you in Indonesia and you guys in the US, it's gonna still be Godzilla's birthday, so I guess that still works. I probably missed a few comments, so I'm gonna scroll up a bit. And oh my god, we got 10 viewers on this live stream. 10 viewers. I honestly, like I said earlier, I thought nobody was gonna show up, and I was really worried. I was just gonna be We're just gonna sit here quietly, no chat going on, and it was gonna be really awkward. But I'm so glad all of you are here and that you're actually commenting and giving me something to talk about and actually celebrating the 66th anniversary like this, because that's just so cool. Okay, and I'm getting lost just trying to find some messages that I haven't read here yet. Damn you, Brisbane. Oh, okay. So back on the topic of G-Fan magazine, No Budget Nerd says, yeah, kind of like that. I never seen one by myself. A friend of mine writes for them and recommended me. Oh, that is so cool. Um, could you get him to recommend me? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe if I put out a particularly good video or something like that, I need to step up my game a bit, maybe, and then it'll be worthy or something like that. We'll see. Going down, we're back to the wife pulls out a knife and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. No Budget Nerd. But it's an addiction, way better than drugs or alcohol. Yeah, I completely agree. It's as far as addictions go, at least you can sell your addiction if in like if you're in a pinch, you at least have something that you can sell away and not completely lose out. Like these things go up in value rather than down, which is the other thing. And you're surrounded by stuff that you love. So that's the benefit of this really odd addiction that a lot of us here happen to have. And continuing on through the comments, Ariology says, I was about to buy the Purple Godzilla Store limited edition Awakening version today, but in less than 2 hours it already sold out. I want to cry, but I'm too old to do that. No, Ariology, you're not too old to cry. We all occasionally need to cry, no matter how old we are. Unless you're like 2,000 years old, in which case you are too old to even be alive, let alone cry. But that's just going off on a bizarre tangent. Tears aren't weakness, it's liquid pride, says No Budget Nerd. Oh, gosh. Okay, so apparently it's very hard to get Godzilla figures in Indonesia. The government tax is also killing us. Yeah, oh man. Here in Australia, we got a GTS tax of like 10% of all goods from outside of Australia a couple of years ago. And it pissed me off to no end because for the most part, like it just, I don't know. It's everything that I get in my collection is from overseas. So everything just went up by 10%. And also around that same time, I started to get into more pricey figures like Monster Arts figures. So government taxes, they're such a pain. I hate them. No Budget Nerd. Touche, you're right about the movies. Wait, who said something about movies? I must have missed something. Oh. If heard about Indonesia, there's some weird movies from that country, like the ones with the flying head and guts hanging out of it. What? Okay, I'm thinking of a Japanese movie called House, which I'm might have something like that in it, but I don't know if that's something I'm aware of. No liquid pride. We'll keep that in mind when I shed my tears after. Oh god. Yeah. Areology. You do have this sort of very conflicting feelings when you first press that the button to actually buy it. I will say that. So if you are actually going to get the Kyoto figure, you will have a pretty rough week of just being like, oh man, what did I do? What did I do? I actually did that. Oh, but I'm actually gonna get the figure. Oh, but why? What did I do? And it'll just go on like that for a little while. But after the figure gets here, you spend a couple of days with it, just being like, that a mighty fine figure right there. That it eventually fades away, but prepare for that feeling if you actually go for the Kyoto. And I would love to see like an unboxing video or a review if you actually go through with it. That would be pretty cool. There's not many of them out on the internet as well, which is another reason why I'm really keen to actually put out a review of this thing, because as far as I know, nobody in the Western world has put out a review of this Shin Godzilla. They're all in Japanese from what I've seen, the ones that I've seen online. And I know you're from Indonesia, so it still technically won't be in the Western world, but still, another review means more people get to know about this figure. Actually, interesting proposition I have for you guys. Would anybody be interested, if you're like really into this figure, really interested in like a recast of the head? Because I've been doing recasts, and like I don't really want to get into the scene of bootlegging, but I would take exception with just this figure's head as like a bust, just because this figure is so rare, and I feel so many Godzilla collectors actually would love such an accurate Shin Godzilla. So if you guys are into that, then let me know, and I might make it possible. But only if people are actually interested, I'll actually do that. But yeah, that's something you guys have got to let me know. So I think somebody here is leaving. So let me just get back to these comments. Oh, no budget nerd. You're leaving. Goodbye. Thank you for staying in the chat. You really kept it alive here, brother. I really appreciate that. Take care. Rock on, man. And I really hope we can actually do a podcast together on the AVR Kaiju podcast, because I really want to talk about your films and stuff on that, and you'd be a great guest. I want to talk about what it's like to be a Godzilla fan in Germany, because I want to know. That's what the AVR podcast is all about. Godzilla collectors and fans from all across the globe, and learning about their experience as fans from those countries. So don't forget to watch No Budget Nerd Godzilla movies. Yes, what he says there. Don't forget to watch those movies. I read in the comment in your kaiju unboxing video, someone said that you should wait for something good about Shin. Yes, somebody said, was it Ultrazilla or somebody like that? Somebody was talking about something about Shin Godzilla coming out soon, and they had to keep it a secret. But I don't know what it is to this day, and I'm sure it's nothing. At the very least, I doubt it's going to be this figure, and to this day, I don't think there's a way that they could make a more accurate Shin Godzilla figure. So I still didn't really have any regrets about getting this one, rather than waiting for whatever unnamed figure they know is on the way. Who knows? Might be great. And I'm losing my voice here, people. So we're gonna do the cake soon. I'm just gonna finish reading these comments here, see what you guys are saying, and we'll try and wrap it up. Thanks for the advice. I think you should really make the Godzilla addiction group. Yeah, maybe we will. Maybe we'll have like live sessions. We could do videos like this where we could just basically have like a Alcoholics Anonymous, but for Godzilla ones. Lovely. Stay safe and healthy. Take care. Yes, stay safe and healthy, all of you guys. But I want the whole body, not just the head. Yes, I know. We all want the whole body. The thing is, I don't have the facilities to make the whole body. If I could recast this whole thing, I would. But the thing is, the actual silicon to cast it, the resin, all of that would cost more than the inflated prices that this figure is going for now, like considerably more. And the effort it would take, the time, the sheer man hours of that, and the fact that I already don't have enough time in the day to finish these little things. No, I can't do that. But I can do a bust. I can do that for somebody, maybe. I want to be in your podcast. Yeah, okay. You're a comic artist. Oh, no, you haven't drawn Godzilla, though. You know what? That's fine. You're still a Godzilla fan. I would love to have you on the podcast. I would love to find out what it's like to be a Godzilla fan in Indonesia, to have a good chat with you. That's something we can definitely do. Hopefully, I can get that going soon. I have an issue where these podcasts, they take literally 24 hours worth of solid just sitting at the computer editing to do like a 2-hour video of like interchanging between my face and the podcast person's face and stuff like that. So it's quite a process to do them. So I actually have a podcast that I recorded a couple of months ago, or at least well over a month ago now, with Alex the Hunted. He's a YouTube reviewer from England. He does some really great, funny YouTube reviews, especially of kaiju films. And he was kind enough to go on the podcast, and I feel like I've let him down because I've spent just months and months, or maybe weeks and weeks is a better way of saying it, not actually getting the filming to editing that filmed footage and putting that out as a podcast. And I also have more podcasts to do with Harold from the Figure Mania show, No Budget Nerd. Also, I want to get on board, and I've got a couple of other people who I want to get on board. So it's a lot of time-consuming editing for me, but I definitely would love to have you on board as well. But just bear in mind, I might have an issue with how long it actually takes to edit together, because I get just overwhelmed with projects from time to time. Let's see. Fantastic. Would be happy to be on your podcast. I draw Star Wars comics, though. This is the High Republic. Will come out in January. Oh, awesome. I'm actually pretty keen to see that. After this, could you send me through some information about your stuff? Maybe to the AVR, the Atomic Vinyl Reviews Facebook page, if you have Facebook or something like that, because I would really love to see some of your stuff, maybe. Yeah, I think my voice is about dying here, guys, and I think it's cake time. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna do the cake and close off the podcast. So we have 5 people watching. I want to end this before everyone leaves, because we had about 10 people a moment ago. So I'm probably dragging this on for a while. So we'll bring in our Kyoto here, because everyone's been talking about him today. So he's kind of the star of the podcast, and we'll get the cake. All right, we got our cake here. Let's do it. I'll show, but you can always Google it. Just Google the High Republic. Now, by High Republic, are they just like smoking their Mary Jane, or is this something a bit more formal? I'm Googling it now. The High Republic. Star Wars. I'm just going through some Google images, and from what I'm seeing, it looks kind of cool. Let's see, is there like a info about it? Here we go. The High Republic is an all-new republic. The noble and wise Jedi Knights must face a frightening threat to themselves, the galaxy, and to the Force itself. Launches January 2021. The original theory spanning books. Ah, okay. So it's like a legit comic book thing. That's so cool. Yeah, definitely we'll have you on board and on the podcast, and we can definitely talk about that, because I am a Star Wars fan myself. And now I have lost my tab where I have the chat running. Hold on. This is an utter mess, guys. Sorry about that. Where are we? Ah, here we go. There it is. Okay. Have a good cake, some you say? Okay. With the whole body, fantastic. Oh, you can. Okay. Yes, I will have a good cake. Let's do the cake. We'll sing the song. I'm not much of a singer. I mean, technically, I'm literally an amateur singer because I have a band and I occasionally sing in it, but okay, one match doesn't work. This might be an ordeal, guys. We'll see. Oh, these are old freaking matches, aren't they? Okay. I wish I had like one of those little standby kind of cards I could put in front of the camera. I need to actually run off and grab some new matches, so I'll be right back. I will I'll play you some waiting music. So hold on. So I'll just oh wow, it's actually announcing what I'm saying through the speakers now. That's really odd. Announcing what I'm saying through the speakers now. That's really odd. I would ask him to light up the candle, but he doesn't listen. I would ask him to light up the candle, but he doesn't listen. Okay, that echo is painfully horrible. Sorry about that. What I'm saying is I would ask him to light up the candle. The problem is Godzillas are notorious for being unhelpful and never listening to what I ask them to do. Especially this guy. His tail likes to get everywhere, and when I'm trying to do stuff in my room, his tail will get caught on everything. He can be such a pain, but a really gorgeous, freaking amazing pain. But nonetheless, he goes putting on some waiting music. I'll be right back after this, and I'll get some matches. We'll do the cake and the song and everything. So bye-bye. I'll be right back, but don't go anywhere. So bye-bye. I'll be right back, but don't go anywhere. So bye-bye. I'll be right back, but don't go anywhere. Okay, we're back. Oh god, the feedback from the speakers here. Sorry about that, guys. Is anyone still watching the chat? Okay, 7 people are live. Excellent. Welcome to the chat, you 7 people. And I think I just got some chocolate on my Monster Arts here. Oh no, we're good. We're good. We are about to do the Godzilla birthday cake for November 3rd. It's actually now November 4th in my country, but that doesn't matter because somewhere in the world, it is Godzilla's birthday. And we're going to sing him a song, or at least just light up the candles. And yeah, fire. Now I can play with fire. Don't tell anyone, though. Okay, lighting this one up. So we got 6 candles here because I couldn't actually fit 66 candles on this cake. That would have been a bit insane. And I figured if it's his 66th birthday, 6 candles would do. Maybe I should have got 12 for 2 times 6. But come on. No. One last candle. Okay. I have a way of doing this. All right. This is going to be dumb as hell, but everyone in the chat, if you're watching, write happy birthday, but like write it as if you were singing it. So be like, happy birthday, dear Godzilla. Happy birthday, dear Godzilla. And then just press enter. And then we'll all sing happy birthday in the most awkward and dumb fashion to this thing that we all love. So, happy birthday, dear Godzilla. Happy birthday, dear Godzilla. You are so big and scary. Oh, okay. We got 2 candles. Yay! So that's it for my stream, guys. I really appreciate all of you watching. Apparently we have 8 people watching now, which is super cool. You saw the most cringiest shit just there, so I apologize for that, but it had to be done because we only get Godzilla's birthday once a year. We got to celebrate it. And thank you, everybody, not just you who are in the chat, but you who are watching it and not replying for obvious reasons, because you don't want your name associated with this weird, cringy birthday live stream, and all of you people who watch this thing after it comes out and no longer as a live video and just watch it as a regular YouTube video. Thank you too for watching this. I hope to see you guys in my next video. But until then, may all your vinyl be irradiated vinyl. Over and out. Thank you. And I'm going to cut away now unless anybody else wants to add anything else in the chat. So we'll just have a quick gander at that. Candles. Thanks for this, mate, for answering all the questions too. You're so welcome. And if you do end up getting this Kyoto figure, let me know how that goes, because I'm really curious if you're actually going to get it or not and what you think of it. That'll be so cool. And we got the right sector. I don't believe I've seen you on the chat before. Welcome to the chat. We are actually ending the stream here. And not sure who you're saying good luck to, whether it's me or whether it is to our Areology for getting the figure, hopefully. But either way, stay safe and healthy. Take care. You too, man. Stay safe. So I can't talk. Literally, I need just a glass of water and just to shut up for a while, and I can talk again properly. But for now, I'm just dying over here. But everyone else, stay safe and healthy as well. And what else have we got? I will wait for your Hedorah review. Thank you. I will hopefully have that out in the next couple of days. I was going to work on it tomorrow, but my band's drummer, apparently she's actually free to jam for the first time in like 3 or 4 months, so we can actually get together and do that tomorrow. So I might have to move working on that to a bit later in the week, but I will be getting that out as probably my next video for sure. So do stay tuned for that, all of you guys, because it's going to be a great one, hopefully. Or at least if the review's not great, the figure that we will be reviewing will be the greatest, or at least one of the greatest figures in my collection. And yeah, take care, guys. Have a great Godzilla's birthday. Stay safe. Peace out. May all your vinyl be irradiated vinyl. I don't really know what that means, but I say it at the end of all my videos, and I hope it stays true for you guys. So bye. And oh, are you sure you want to end your stream? Yeah, I'm sure. Bye.